Hey guys, just before we get into the tier list video, if you're part of the 54% of people that watch these videos and aren't subscribed, do yourself a favour, hit that subscribe button. I put a TCG video out every single day. Let's get into the fun stuff. Super nice. But that being said, we've been saying as more VMAX come into the format, it could get caught in that ADP sort of realm where it's like, well, it can't realistically deal with these as easily as it could. But then Mewtwo gets a deck that can always adapt. You know, I'm sure there's some attackers you can play. So we've got three Mewtwo variants here. We've got the sort of welder based. We've got the ultimate Mewtwo, that's what Henry Brand championed in Perth. And then we've got the Malamar Gengar handlock version. Out of those three, Jack, which one do you feel is the best equipped to move forward?
Well, this is the other archetype that me and Joe talked about the other night.
It's an interesting one, isn't it? Yeah.
Welder Mewtwo, I think, has kind of dropped off a little bit because, like you say, the welder attacks aren't as good anymore. The turn 2 300 doesn't always do it, and sometimes the follow-up, like even if the turn 2 300 is good enough, the follow-up isn't. Yeah. So I've kind of gone off of that a little bit. It's fine, but it's not anywhere near as good as it was or as it has been.
Yep.
Mali Mewtwo, I have always hated. I have never ever liked that deck. Yep. I am at the point now of respecting it because it had the best results this weekend. So it's probably on paper the best Mewtwo deck right now, and because of that, I respect it. I don't like it, but I respect it.
Yep.
But then Joe told me about Ultimate Mewtwo, and Joe told me about putting a Sabletar in Ultimate Mewtwo and soul bursting to a Sabletar.
Oh, okay.
So he's convinced me that's probably the best way to do things because, like, in general, I was pretty off Mewtwo before speaking to Joe about it. I was like, I don't know why you would play Mewtwo. The benefit of playing Mewtwo is the versatility.
Yep.
And that's probably why Mali Mewtwo has the best results because it's probably the most versatile.
Yeah.
With its attacks.
Mm-hmm.
But in my mind, Dragapult is not. They're not the same deck at all. But Dragapult has just as much versatility and has more HP and attacks for less energy and can just do more. Yeah. So in my mind, I was like, I don't know why I would play Mewtwo. I'm scared to completely write it off because of how versatile this type of card is. It will never be irrelevant.
Yes.
But none of the lists enthused me until Joe mentioned Sabletar, and then I was listening.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with probably Ultimate for being able to compete. But I am beginning to respect, even though I am beginning to respect Mali Mew a bit more. So I think those two are above Welder. I don't know how I'd rate them.
Yeah.
Comparing to one another. But I will say that I think Welder is kind of not good enough anymore.
Okay, interesting. Now this is low-key what I really hoped would happen when we're talking about Mewtwo, because I've had Henry on the channel before. We've talked about Ultimate Mewtwo, and looking at it on paper, right, I think it's one of the best videos on the channel in regards to views is how these GXs warm up. And when you hear about every single GX had its use, had its exact matchup, had its exact mass for this, I was thinking this deck's bonkers. And I did have an inkling that if your more traditional Mewtwo was going to fall off, I did feel if it would be some sort of bonkers Ultimate Mewtwo where you just say, right, I'm doing this, and all of a sudden, bang, here's a ridiculous outcome. So, Joe, talk to me about this Soul Burst then, my friend. Let's have a gander.
Well, I can't take all the credit for it. It was initially Mark Lutz's idea. He was playing it on stream for a laugh kind of thing.
Okay.
It was when the EUIC was announced as cancelled, he was like, this was the deck I would have played. And it was a Soul Burst box that had 2 Sabletars in it anyway. And basically, the biggest concern going forward with Mewtwo is just that Dragapult naturally feels like a pretty sore matchup for you. The Welder list never appreciated putting in Jirachi GX or having to go Guzhala plus special energies, weak guards, slows you down too much. And,
yes.
The Mali Mewtwo then has to just settle for using the stuff that's weak to Dark. That can also get caught in the crossfire for people trying to counter Dragapult.
Yeah.
There's some issues for both of those, in my opinion. But the Soul Burst seems like it challenges the Dragapult quite nicely. You really don't need much in your opening. You just need to get your Soul Burst in the bin and the Saboteur onto the board. And with tag calls, they're actually some of the most searchable cards in the deck. And Saboteur sweeps Dragapult. Like, there's actually not much they can do at all, to be honest. So that sounds pretty fun. So I think Soul Burst box is probably the best. A low-key concern is that your matchup could be getting worse against ADP-zation, because a lot of these Mewtwo's are surviving right now by playing Swell Big Charm as a combo, and Tool Scrapper's coming out, so you can get rid of the Big Charm, even with Swell in play now. So that's a small concern. I think your ADP-zation matchup might be like diminishing a little bit, but as a nice foil to Dragapult, I actually quite like. I don't dislike Soul Burst Mewtwo, and like you said, Henry found a way for every attacker to pose a threat or be an answer to something in the format, and I think with a small reshuffle, it could probably do it again.
Okay, that's exactly what I wanted to hear. Oh, yes! Right, so, with that all being said... Oh, sorry, carry on, Jack.
I was going to say, that the other thing with Soul Burst Mewtwo is I think it has such a high skill ceiling.
Yes, yes.
That, like, initially, when he released his list and people tried it and they were getting trash results, they were like, oh, this deck's awful.
Yeah.
But I think it's actually just probably one of the most difficult decks to play.
Yeah.
And therefore the results weren't converting because people weren't giving it enough time. I think with the right mindset, I think this is why Henry did so well with it, because he's such a good player, and he built this deck. It was his pet, and he knew every single card, every single matchup inside and out. And I think if someone does that, it can easily be like an S tier deck for that individual person.
Yes.
Because it's such a box style deck that you build. It's like some of Sander's control decks. No one can pick those up and play them because no one understands them, but Sander does, and Sander always does well with them. And that's how I feel about Ultimate Mewtwo. I feel like if you put the time in, if you invest a lot of hours into that deck, you can probably beat any matchup because you'll know it and your opponent won't. So that's like the results of the deck probably keep it down from whether you should think about the deck teching wise, because people pick it up, do trash with it, and drop it. But the deck's raw power level and skill ceiling, I think, is really, really high, and will always be a threat in the format if someone is willing to put the time into.
Yeah.
It seems very, very strong if you want to put in the hours.
No, 100%. Like, speaking to him, he said he put in hundreds of games, like he knew, Blastoise GX, you have 5 energy, after GX KOs this, KOs that. I'm like, bloody hell, Alolan Raticate KOs Jirachi after GX. I'm like, I did it. Like, Flygon GX after GX does 2 7. I'm like, bloody hell, really? Like, he's just reeling them off like this. I'm like, okay. So like I said, if we can build this deck to where we can get to that level of like everything just for this reason, I was really hoping this would be the outcome. Like, because I love Ultimate Mewtwo as an idea. I think it's the most creative, the most fun. So yeah, that all seems well and good to me. So with that all being said, lads, here comes the hard bit now. Where are we putting them? So I think we're all in agreement that Welder Mewtwo is at least the one that has to adapt more, or we can see dropping. With what I've been hearing, I'm gonna say I'm leaning more into that sort of 2.5 ish. I can't put it in 3, but then, well, no. What do we think?
I'd put Welder Mewtwo in 2, probably. I'd also put Mally in 2, and then I'd put Soul Burst in 1.5 or 1.
Yeah, okay. I would do pretty much the same. I'd put Welder in 2, definitely. I'd put Ultimate in 1.5, just because I think that, again, I think the deck has too high of a skill ceiling to ever go higher from a representation point of view. But, and Mally's weird. I'd probably put it in the same as Welder.
Yeah.
But I think it's better than Welder, but it's worse than Soul Burst, so I don't know. It's weird, but yeah, 2 is probably, like, Mally will probably see the best results. Yeah. Because it's easier to play than Soul Burst, but I think Soul Burst is a better deck.
Yeah, no, that seems completely. I guess both the other Mewtwo variants, they still have their win con of like, well, I can just say, lol, here's 300. You're like, oh, like, you're all going to win games still from that. Yeah. And then Mewtwo will still win games by just saying, right, even against the sort of bad matchup, you can just go, Night Watch, here's 2 cards, and they're like, oh, energy, something else. You're like, oh, lol, okay, here we go. So they both still have their win con, just whether they're just super competitive now.
With a couple of extra stage ones in the format as well. Trev Noir gets stronger.
Yep.
Back to him, so that's
Yeah.
good.
Horror House can always cheese as well.
Well, that's it. Yeah. Yeah, that's 100. That's shout out to Jacob Downs. We played in some. I think it might have been like Neil Pye event or something like this. I was playing Turbo Goons. I was like, I'm not losing to anything. Oh, he flips over Latios. I'm like, lol, I should be fine. Just Horror Houses me. I'm like, oh, okay. And then he just carries my lone goon. So I'm like, yeah, lol. So cheers, mate. Swiftly dropped from that event after that. I can't. Just not meant to be my day today, is it? Right. Hey guys, thanks for watching that video, much appreciated, really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't hesitate to subscribe. I try and put out as much stuff here as I can, full deck profiles plus games, topic conversational pieces regarding anything in the TCG. Check out my Twitter, check out my Facebook, that's where I get most of the updates, sort of see what's going on behind the scenes, all that good stuff. Also check out the SoundCloud for the full bi-weekly podcast. If you're interested, if you like the conversational pieces, go check that out. But yeah, thank you so much for watching and I hope you have a good day.